Have you ever wondered why, throughout centuries, millions of hearts turn to a single path, seeking hope, guidance, and light in a world often shadowed by fear and doubt? There is a calling that whispers to the soul, a truth so profound that it transcends time, culture, and circumstance. Today, we uncover the reason why countless lives are transformed by a power unseen, yet deeply felt. The voice of love that never fades. There is a voice that calls to the deepest part of the soul, a voice that does not demand, does not threaten, and yet carries the weight of eternity within it. It whispers softly to those who are willing to listen, reaching into the quiet corners of the heart where fear and doubt often linger. It is not a voice that shouts over the chaos of the world, nor does it seek to overpower. Rather, it penetrates the noise of daily life with a stillness so profound that one cannot help but pause. One cannot help but feel its presence. This voice speaks of love, but not the kind of love that is fleeting or conditional, nor the love that is earned through achievement, wealth, or recognition. It speaks of a love that is infinite, unwavering, and eternal, a love that seeks nothing in return, yet gives everything. A love that mends the broken, comforts the weary, and strengthens the weak. Many pass through life searching for this love in places where it cannot be found. They chase after fleeting pleasures, empty promises, or the fleeting validation of others, believing that happiness lies in the accumulation of wealth, status, or power. But time and again, they discover that these things cannot fill the void within, cannot soothe the restless longing that stirs in the heart. And then, in a moment, often unannounced, the voice of love makes itself known. It speaks not in force, but in gentle insistence. It touches the heart with a clarity that cannot be denied, revealing a truth that was always present but often unseen, that love is not something to be grasped or controlled, but something to be received and reflected, something that grows as it is shared freely. This voice calls people to a higher way of living, a life where mercy is valued above judgment, compassion above selfish gain, and forgiveness above resentment. It teaches that to love is not merely to feel, but to act, to reach out to those in need, to offer kindness to those who do not deserve it, and to hold no bitterness for those who have caused pain. It is a radical teaching, for it defies the natural inclination of the human heart to protect itself, to seek revenge, or to cling to what is familiar. Yet those who listen and respond find that in practicing this love, their hearts are transformed. They are freed from the chains of anger, bitterness, and fear, and a peace descends upon them that is unlike anything the world can offer. The voice of love also speaks to those who have been abandoned, those who feel invisible, those whose cries seem unheard. It reaches into the depths of despair with a promise that they are not alone, that their pain is known, and that every tear, every moment of loneliness, every silent plea for help is seen and understood. It does not erase suffering, but it offers a presence that is steadfast, a comfort that does not waver, a hope that endures when everything else fades. In the midst of loss, heartbreak, or betrayal, this voice becomes a refuge, a sanctuary where the soul can find rest and renewal. What draws millions to this path is the undeniable experience of being seen, truly seen, and loved without condition. In a world that often judges, rejects, and criticizes, the encounter with this love is a revelation. It is a reminder that worth is not measured by accomplishments, beauty, or approval, but by the simple truth that every soul is precious, every life is significant, and every heart is capable of reflecting this love to the world. This voice calls not only for personal transformation, but for a collective awakening, inviting humanity to live in a way that mirrors the beauty of this infinite love, to become vessels through which it flows into every corner of existence. Even those who have wandered far from the path, those who have given in to despair, cynicism, or doubt, find themselves drawn inexplicably back. They feel a pull, a gentle tug at the heart, a recognition that there is something greater than themselves that cares, something eternal that invites them to return. This love is patient, never forcing, never condemning, always waiting for the moment when the soul is ready to respond. And when it is received, life itself begins to transform. The burdens of guilt, shame, and regret begin to lift, and a new perspective emerges, one that sees the world not as a place of endless struggle, but as a canvas for acts of kindness, courage, and mercy. It is this voice, this enduring, unyielding love that millions have heard and followed throughout the ages. It is the reason why lives are changed, hearts healed, and hope restored. For those who embrace it, the journey is not easy, and the world may not always understand. Yet the rewards are profound, invisible to the eye, but undeniable in the spirit, a heart that is light, a soul that is at peace, and a life guided by a love that never fades. The path of truth and justice, there is a path that winds through life not marked by wealth, power, or worldly recognition, but illuminated by the steady light of truth. Those who walk this path discover that it is not always easy to fall, for the world often values deceit, cunning, and compromise over honesty, courage, and integrity. Yet those who listen to the quiet call of conscience, those who are willing to align their lives with a higher principle, find that there is a peace in living authentically that cannot be taken away. The path of truth is not a road to comfort or ease. It is a journey of courage, demanding that each step be taken with awareness, each choice weighed against the measure of what is just and right. It is a path that calls humanity to rise above fear, to confront falsehood, and to honor the principles that govern the spirit rather than the fleeting desires of the flesh. The path of truth teaches that life is not defined by appearances or by the masks people wear to impress, manipulate, or deceive. It reveals that the foundation of a meaningful existence is honesty, not only toward others but toward oneself. To walk this path is to look deeply into the heart, to acknowledge fault and failures, and to embrace responsibility for the choices one makes. It requires courage to confront the shadows within, to face uncomfortable realities, and to speak honestly in a world that often prefers lies, half-truths, and avoidance. Yet those who persevere discover that there is liberation in truth, for when one is unbound by deception, the soul can move freely. The heart can rest easily, and life can be lived with clarity and purpose. Along this path, justice is not a distant ideal, nor a concept confined to the judgment of men. It is a living principle, experienced in daily actions and the way one treats others. Justice is not merely about punishment or reward, but about balance, fairness, and the recognition of the intrinsic dignity of every being. Those who follow this path learn that their words and deeds must reflect the values they hold, that every act has weight, and that integrity is measured not by grand gestures, but by the small, often unnoticed choices that define character. In a world where greed, corruption, and exploitation are common, the pursuit of justice becomes an act of courage, a declaration that truth and fairness matter more than convenience or conformity. The path of truth and justice also requires discernment. Life is complex, and situations rarely present themselves in simple terms of right and wrong. To walk this path is to develop the ability to see beyond appearances, to recognize the deeper realities beneath the surface, and to act in accordance with what is right, even when it is unpopular or misunderstood. It is a call to live with integrity, to resist the pressure to compromise principle for short-term gain, and to be a steadfast witness to the enduring power of truth. Those who embrace this calling are often challenged, tested, and misunderstood. Yet they discover that the strength of the soul grows with each trial, and that living honestly produces a deep and abiding sense of purpose that no external reward can replicate. Millions are drawn to this path because it resonates with an inner knowing that life has meaning beyond material success, that fulfillment comes not from manipulation or deceit, but from aligning with universal principles that govern the human spirit. It appeals to a desire for clarity in a world clouded by lies, for justice in a world marked by inequity, and for courage in a world that often rewards fear. Those who walk this path find that their lives are guided by an invisible hand, a sense of direction that is not dictated by circumstance, but by adherence to truth and fairness. The path is not without its struggles. There are moments of doubt, temptation, and fatigue. Yet even in these moments, the light of truth shines steadily, reminding the traveler that integrity is its own reward, and that justice pursued with a sincere heart never goes unnoticed. To follow this path is to embrace a life that is meaningful even when it is difficult. It teaches that fear can be transformed into courage, weakness into resilience, and uncertainty into faith. It demonstrates that true leadership is not built on dominance or control, but on honesty, fairness, and a commitment to higher principles. And it assures those who walk it that their actions, guided by truth and justice, ripple outward, touching lives in ways that are often invisible, yet profoundly transformative. This path calls not only for personal adherence, but also for the courage to influence others, to embody justice in every interaction, and to uphold truth in the face of adversity, knowing that a life grounded in these principles becomes a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, and a testament to the enduring power of what is right and good. The hope that conquers despair, there exists a hope that rises quietly within the human heart, a force that refuses to be extinguished even in the deepest darkness. It is not a hope born of ignorance or blind optimism, nor is it a fleeting sentiment tied to circumstances or worldly success. This hope is steadfast, unwavering, and eternal, a light that persists even when storm, rage, when loss feels unbearable, and when the world seems to have abandoned all mercy. It speaks to the soul in moments of sorrow, reminding those who listen that no matter how heavy the burden, no matter how piercing the pain, there's a reason to endure, a reason to believe, and a reason to move forward. It is this hope that transforms despair into strength, fear into courage, and doubt into a quiet yet resolute faith. In every life, there are moments when the heart feels fragile and the spirit weary. Circumstances can seem insurmountable, relationships may falter, and dreams once held dear may crumble. Yet even in the shadow of such trials, this hope whispers, offering a promise that suffering is not the end, that every tear carries meaning, and that every moment of hardship contains the seeds of renewal. It does not erase grief or pain, nor does it pretend that life is free of struggle. Instead, it invites the soul to perceive a larger picture, a greater truth that transcends immediate circumstances. It assures those who hold it that there is a purpose behind suffering, that resilience is cultivated through challenge, and that the human heart is capable of rising stronger from every trial endured. Hope, when fully embraced, becomes a guiding light, showing the way forward even when the path seems hidden. It encourages patience in the face of adversity, teaching that timing is often beyond human understanding, and that persistence, trust, and faith in what is unseen can yield profound results. Those who nurture this hope discover that it does more than comfort them. Find that it energizes action, inspires courage, and fosters compassion. In moments of uncertainty, it compels them to reach out to others, to offer help, encouragement, and solidarity, knowing that even small acts of kindness can bring light into the darkness. It teaches that hope is not passive, but a force that drives transformation both within oneself and in the world. Millions are drawn to this hope because it is tangible in the experience of everyday life, though it cannot be measured or quantified. They feel it in moments of silence, acts of unexpected kindness, in the resilience of the human spirit, and in the quiet assurance that there is a power beyond the visible, a presence that watches over, supports, and guides. This hope transcends culture, language, and circumstance, connecting hearts across generations and geography. It is a universal balm for pain, a unifying force that reminds humanity that no one is truly alone, that every struggle is witnessed, and that the journey is meaningful even when it is difficult. Hope also empowers people to forgive and to heal. It shows that resentment and bitterness, while natural responses to hurt, can be transformed into understanding and compassion. Those who embrace hope learn to see the potential for growth and renewal in every broken moment, to recognize that even failure can teach lessons, and that every ending carries within it the possibility of a new beginning. It reassures the heart that mistakes do not define a person, that forgiveness is not weakness, and that every soul is capable of redemption and transformation. Moreover, hope provides a sense of purpose and direction. It encourages individuals to envision a future beyond immediate struggles, to imagine a life where joy, peace, and fulfillment are possible. It instills confidence that perseverance will be rewarded, that actions grounded in love, kindness, and integrity bear fruit, and that every effort toward goodness, no matter how small, contributes to a larger tapestry of meaning. Through hope, even the most challenging circumstances are reframed as opportunities for growth, teaching patience, humility, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. This hope is not limited to personal salvation or comfort. It inspires collective transformation. Communities, nations, and societies are built when individuals cling to the belief that good can triumph over evil, that justice can prevail over oppression, and that love can overcome hatred. It motivates countless acts of courage, sacrifice, and generosity, showing that hope is a living force, active and contagious, capable of turning despair into determination, fear into action, and uncertainty into unwavering resolve. It is this hope, this profound and abiding confidence in the presence of goodness, purpose, and restoration that millions have embraced across time and culture. It is the reason why hearts remain steadfast in adversity, why spirits endure in suffering, and why humanity continues to seek the light even in the darkest night.